and Mariaga Saturday night on ESPN. And for more on this fight, we welcome in friend of the show, founder and CEO of Top Rank, Bob Arum, joins us. Bob, good morning.
Good morning, Molly.
Thanks so much for being with us. Now, you called Lomachenko the best boxer you've seen since Muhammad Ali. High praise there. Please explain why.
Well, you know, he's goes both ways in the sense that he's a great defensive fighter, probably one of the best that I've ever seen, but he combines it with a great offensive style. In other words, you can't hit him because his footwork is so good, his judgment of distance is so good, but while he's avoiding punches, he's always looking for weaknesses in the opponent, and he looks to take the opponent out or to make the opponent quit. Now, Floyd Mayweather's a great defensive fighter. There's no doubt about it. But Floyd is content to win fights by outscoring an opponent and scoring more punches than the opponent hits him with, and wins on points. Now, Lomachenko closes the show. You can't hit him because his distance is so good, his footwork is so good, but he's always looking for ways to destroy the opponent, and he always does. So I look at Lomachenko as the best that I've seen. And my matchmaker, Bruce Trampler, compares him to the old-time fighters and feels like guys like Sandy Sadler or Willie Pep or Salvador Sanchez or even Alexis Arguello would be no match for Vasyl Lomachenko.
Some of your matchmakers and I, Bob, were talking about Lomachenko early on. Every 10 to 20 years, a guy like that comes around. He is a rare talent and my favorite guy to watch in boxing. I want to ask you about Manny. Yeah, Bob?
I know that. I know how you feel about him because I've heard your call on his fights.
Yeah. So I want to ask you about Manny Pacquiao, though. Stephen A. was there in the studio railing against the decision. I thought it was a little closer than Stephen A. and Teddy Atlas did. It was a competitive fight, but Pacquiao appeared to be on the wrong side of the decision. My point of view, Bob, is you're in Australia, in a competitive fight. You almost have him out in the 9th round. You can't finish the deal. Guys like this Jeff Horn didn't used to compete with Manny Pacquiao, let alone get decisions. What's next for Pacquiao? What's going on with him?
Well, I talked to Manny, and he doesn't want to retire. He wants the rematch, and we're now working with the Philippine Senate to figure out the window where they will have a recess so that he can train and appear at the fight. And hopefully we'll be able to do that fight in November and be a great night again for boxing fans. Now they know who Jeff Horn is, and I look forward to seeing that fight on ESPN.
Bob Arum, you know, Lomachenko has an extensive amateur career. He's only 8-1 as a pro, but he's widely considered one of the top 3 fighters in the world. He's just that special. We've got a guy coming on back on ESPN in a couple of weeks in the name of Mr. Terrence Crawford, who's special as well, who's a bit bigger than Lomachenko. Both of those guys are fighters of yours. I'd like to know what the possibility is, assuming Lomachenko continues his dominance and Crawford continues his as well. What's the possibility of those two meeting in the very near future? Because these are 2 of the greatest fighters in the world.
You're absolutely correct, Stephen. But, Terrence is a much bigger guy than Loma. Loma, started out as a featherweight, and now he's junior lightweight, and the next progression is the lightweight. To go up to 140 pounds or 147 where Terrence is going, that seems like a little much. I mean, Lomo is not a big guy. I'm not going to discount it and say it can't happen. I'd love to see it happen, but I don't see it likely in the near term. Terrence is great, and, people we'll have the opportunity to see Terence again in 2 weeks on the 19th of August on ESPN, where he fights against Julius Ndongo, who has 2 140-pound world title belts. Terence has 2, so very rare. All 4 belts will be on the line at the University of Nebraska, boxing capital of the world now on August 19th.
We love it.
To see that match, and it will be on ESPN.
Lomachenko, Mariaga, Saturday night on the Worldwide Leader right here. Bob, thank you so much for the time. We'll talk to you soon.
My pleasure being on. Thank you.
When we come back after narrative.